So made a purchase at a thrift shop the other day and was basically buying the item in order to learn something, which I did. This particular piece is just a piece of silver plate. Looks pretty run-of-the-mill. Good quality, if you can identify quality. Sometimes it takes a bit of practice, but yeah, this is quite good quality workmanship. Still not what I expected. This was made by a company called Urquis, or Urqui. I assume it's French, so I'm assuming it has a pronunciation, something like that. Not sure if you can see the name there or not. There we go. Urqui, right there. And it has some other markings. One is their logo, which is a centaur, part man, part horse, and the other two are silver plate marks, as far as I can tell. Anyway, so what is this worth? It's not sterling, it's just silver plate. So you'd think it would be worthless, pretty much. But turns out that it has some value. This company makes high-end silver plate and sterling and stainless steel. Their cheapest silver-plated item is the fork. A simple fork, a baguette dinner fork. Just a simple pattern, very plain, is 51 euros. So that's $100 Canadian approximately, or $85 thereabouts. That's their cheapest item. Now they do have more expensive items in tableware, which this dish happens to be some tableware. In particular, in the silver plate, and these, the ones I'm passing by, happen to be gold-plated silver, or gold-plated rather than silver plate. Let's just say, okay, here's a table number card right here. So it's basically a folded over piece of metal with heavy silver plating. It is 70 euros, which is 140, roughly, or 120 thereabouts. Now, when we get into things like butter dishes, we're talking in the $95 95 euro range, and so we're talking close to $200 Canadian. Napkin ring, a single napkin ring, is 95 euros. Here's a fancy napkin holder, napkin ring, it's 100 euros. So getting into things like dishes, dishware, let's see what else we can come up with. Okay, let's go to just an individual caviar cup. Is 125 euros. So we're talking nearly $250 or 210 thereabouts. Here's a napkin ring of a different type, is 130 euros. So depending upon the pattern, it could be substantially more. So what is this piece of silver plate worth, really? I can't find this particular pattern on their website, so I assume it's a discontinued pattern. They've been in business since the 1800s, so who knows what pieces, or quite how old this one is. It's more than likely in the last 20 years, I would suspect, or last 30 years, say. I'm not saying it's from the 1800s by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably 70s or 80s or 90s. But it's probably a discontinued pattern nonetheless, and could have a value of, from what I can see so far, some of these dishes and such, I'm thinking $200 to $400. So, trying to find something comparable has been difficult. There hasn't been too much comparable. Here's a coaster, for example, bottle coaster for 185 euros. That's nearly $400, around 350 thereabouts. Butter dish with cover, 200 euros. Let's try something else. Here's a square tray casserole, or not casserole, sorry, classique. Square tray, silver plated for 235 euros. That is nearly $370 or $350 thereabouts. Saucepan with handles. Oh, there's a 2 1/4. So, and that's the cheap stuff. If we get into some of the more expensive pieces, you're looking at substantially more. Here's some small pieces again. Here's a cigar ashtray, kind of a fancy designer ashtray for 120 euros. Here's a napkin ring for 140 euros. So, yeah. Anyway, their stuff is not cheap. So, this is a name to watch for. Urquus, France. Like I said, their logo is a centaur, which is a half horse, half man, or half man, half horse, whichever you want to call it. And here's baby dishware for baby spoon and baby fork is 130 euros. Just a baby cup, 140 euros. You can pretty much almost double to get Canadian funds, so at 140 euros, that's about 280, so maybe drop it to 250 thereabouts. So anyway, this company's goods are quite valuable, and they're silver plate as well as gold plated, and sterling and stainless steel. They also make stainless steel. Let's take a look at some of their stainless steel in the flatware section, or solid steel. Okay, so it's not stainless necessarily, it's solid steel. Let's hope it's stainless at the prices they're wanting, because a dinner fork is $20, or sorry, 20 euros, which is about $35. So $35 for a fork, a single fork, and that's stainless steel, mind you. And the dinner fork in another pattern happens to be 26 euros, so about $45. Anyway, so their stuff is well worth watching for. Probably good to sell on Etsy or Shopify or Mercari or any of those sites. So, yeah, I hope that helps you. Like I said, this is Urquus or Urquus, I'm not sure which. I'm assuming Urquus. So, yeah, check it out. Just learned something today, and it cost me a whole $5.99 or $4.99 to learn this, and I got a piece that's worth potentially $200 to $400. Anyway, happy picking, safe picking. Take care.